Hey, what's up, card fighters? So I was actually really excited to commentate on this match because my friend decided to basically, because I was playing the deck that he's basically maining for this format until set 9 comes out. He decided like just threw a Hail Mary and put together this like really cool JHEVA deck. He only added one new card. Well, it's not a new card, but he thought that the card had a counterblast one cost to it, and that's why he never played it, which is Best Harvest. He's playing Best Harvest JHEVA, and he thought Best Harvest cost counterblast one this whole time, and I was like, no, weird flex. So he was like, oh, cool, man, I could do some cool stuff with Best Harvest and JHEVA. So I was like, alright, man, if you wanna go ahead and do that, do it. And it was a small 3 round tournament. I think there was like 9 people, but he went undefeated with it, and he did beat Chronojet in the last round. He's gonna go first here. He's gonna pitch a Trick Star to ride up, and then go ahead and pass it over to me. I'm gonna draw for turn. Discard looks like a grade 1 girl here. Do the top 7 search. And we actually whiffed the top 7 search. Draw for turn here. And I don't think I have any other plays. Oh no, I'm actually wrong. I'm capping. I'm capping. I actually don't remember how the match went. I just remember that like I took fat L's. So it looks like I put a grade two girl into the soul here. I'm gonna swing for 8 here. I get the over trigger, 100 mil to my Vanguard. And I was thinking just in case he got a defensive here. So I was swinging with the rear guard first instead of trying to put extra triggers on it. Guards of a 15, and then I swing for 100 million again. So he goes to 2. And I think that was the only time I saw my over trigger this entire tournament. The rest of the which this was round 1, I believe. Yeah, this is round 2. I think the rest of the tournament, like, I just didn't straight up see my over trigger, which was crazy. So he was thinking about not doing it, but he ultimately commits another trick star to make a 10k column. And I guard his Vanguard attack with a 15, and I just take his rear guard. Or no, do I burn another 15 here? Yeah, I think I burn another 15 here. You can stay at 0 damage. No, I end up taking it. I thought about guarding it, but I end up taking it. We're gonna pitch a heal here. Ride up, grab the girl from the drop zone. Debating on how I want to call rear guards this turn because I know he's gonna retire them. So I'm just gonna swing for 10 here. Check nothing. I'm gonna swing for 18 at the Vanguard, and he checks his over trigger here, and that's the end of the turn. I mean, that was the last attack. It's gonna ride up here, check top 7 for a Prayer Dragon, adds Jargo, which is the one that lets him CB1, Soul Charge 1, and retire 1. He's going to activate Best Harvest here, giving his Vanguard the ability that every time one of my rear guards is retired during the main phase, he gets to draw a card. Ditching a trigger here to get Jargo and a Trick Moon, or no, Trick Star from the drop zone. Gonna use Jargo here on the grade 2, but it goes to Soul. Draws 1 off Best Harvest, and he's gonna Soul Blast 2 to get rid of the grade 1 in the back row and draw another card. So effectively, he turned that Best Harvest into a Pot of Greed. He's gonna attack for 10 here with the Trick Star column. I opt to just take it. Damage a Forktail. He's going to swing for 13 here. I'm going to 2 to pass it. He gets a PG and looked like to be a grade 1. And he's going to swing for 23 with a drive check. He gets a critical. I go to 4 here. Debating what I pitch for Ride here. Pitch one of the grade 1 girls here. Ride up to grade 3 Tama. Call another one. Call. I shove his rear guard into Soul. I'm gonna swing for 18 here. He guards for 28. Shove him to Soul. Give 5k to the other guy. And I believe I just choose to call out the same column, because I think I was missing the Draw Girl. Yeah, I was missing the Draw Girl. So I just choose to call out the same girls. I get a front trigger here. So this is 28. And the other column is going to be 30, because we're going to give the 5k again. And we're going to swing for 30. Notably, he damage checked one Prayer Dragon and 2 of Garo. The one that when he attacks with it, if it's in the cross-dress state, I have to guard with 2 or more from hand at the same time. Basically, the win condition of the deck. It's one of the better crossover dress units. He's gonna pitch another Garo here to get Jargo and Trickstar. Looks like he is going to cross overdress into a Vills. Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 1, retire my grade 2 guy, but then it goes back to Soul. And he's going to do the draw 2 pitch one, I believe. Thinking about what to pitch. I think he already did that. Now he's going to cross overdress into Garo, which I believe he just got back off of the Vills. Pitch, but he did Jargo. He didn't do Brahmamata. I don't know what I was talking about, guys. I'm sorry. I get a defensive here, which is very clutch. So he's swinging for 13 to my 23. I decide to make it a 2 to pass. He checks double Persona Ride here. Swings for 20, but I remarked that it doesn't hit. And then he's going to swing here. I just guard with 2 15s. I Persona Ride, so that's going to be a plus 15 to the front row. And his hand is kind of big, but he's at 5, and I'm like most certain that I don't have another turn. So I'm pretty sure I just vomit down my hand. Just checking what I have access to here. Calling down a grade 1 girl and 2 triggers. So we're going to swing for 23 here. He's going to guard. And I'm going to swing for 9 plus 15, which is 24. Looks like we got both girls now. And I believe I just do both effects if I'm not mistaken. Soul Blast 2, shoving the Garo into Soul. Now I'm gonna Soul Blast another 2 to just draw a card here. He does a 2 to pass. I get a heal trigger here, which does go off. I'm gonna give the power to the unboosted one. I'm gonna swing for 33 here, and he takes it because he couldn't guard the last 2 attacks. I'm pretty sure he could guard 1 attack, he just didn't want to get critted, which makes sense. But we're going on to game 2 here. Can we pick up the pace here? Or is this like... Yeah, we could pick up the pace a little bit here. We're just shuffling. What's interesting about JHEVA is, if JHEVA wasn't so piece reliant, I think it would actually be like a really good control deck in this format right now, because it's aggressive and it has access to just like really heavy board removal, which obviously Chronojet doesn't like, so it had that going for it in that matchup. But of course, obviously, when he spins one of his cross-dressed over units to the bottom of the deck, it's not sexy. Pitching Drago for Ride here. I pitch one of the grade 1 girls here for Ride. Get the grade 2 girl that lets me draw a card. Draw for going second. And we don't have any early game plays here, so we just swing for 8. He gets a defensive front. He's gonna pitch the grade 3 crossover dress unit that retires and lets him draft check. It's gonna crossover dress here, draw 2, pitch 1, and then get back the grade 3. Well, now it's like a little bit too fast, low-key. I can't keep up with you guys. Slow the fuck down. But okay. I say this and now I'm taking long on a play, man. Curse you, bro. Curse you. It's like I pitched the grade 2 guy here. Get back the grade 1 chick. Put a grade 1 into soul. Wow, I'm taking a long ass time to think here. Maybe I am the problem. Come on, dude. You've been thinking for like 5 minutes. So I call down 3 grade 1s here. Swing for 10. I don't get anything, but he doesn't get a defensive here. Swing for 16. Damage checks up a PG here, and swing for 21, which he just intercepts. So I did it this way because I wanted to clear my board so he couldn't draw off the best harvest. So as you saw, he pitched best harvests for ride. So he had the best harvest combo online here. Pitching a 15 here. Grabs Jargo, grabs Trickstar. Does a double crossover just here. 23 with a drive check. And bro, like, it was so funny. He checks the OT on his first check. He gives the 100 million, I believe, to the other rear guard. Or no, he gave it to the Vanguard. He gave it to the Vanguard. Because he still wanted to drive check with the other rear guard. And I just, like, I no guarded all of them. Like, I didn't have the hand to guard. So I just go to 4 here. Pitch the grade 2 guy to ride up into the grade 3 Tama. I'm going to call out the grade 2 that lets us draw a card here. And I'm going to CB2 to call out the grade 1s. Swing for 16 here at the Vanguard. He takes it, gets a crit trigger, give 5k to the grade 2, so this is a 23k column, still hits. He takes it again. Just reading the grade 1 countercharger skill. So I'm going to countercharge one and then counterblast the same card. My mentality here was that even if I didn't get offensive triggers, I could still swing at his front row. That's why I chose to call the 2 here. Or that's why I chose to call him in this way. So I'm soul blasting 2 here to draw a card once again. And then I'm going to counterblast. Yeah, I'm going to counterblast 2 to create the board again. So this is 13 to his, so he's going to give me a 2 to pass here. And we do get a heal trigger, which doesn't go off, but we're going to give power to the grade 1 column. So this is 26, so it can hit. He guards for 15, give 5k to the other column, and then he guards for 15 again. We do leave on no counterblast, because like to do that play, it was like 5, we used like 5 counterblast in one turn. He doesn't Persona Ride here, he swings for 13. And which sucks is that, like, for me to do anything on my next turn, I have to take one of these attacks. And knowing that I have to take one of these attacks, I should have just taken the Vanguard attack because I guarded it. It was a misconception. It was a lie. It was too easy to guard. I should have just taken the Vanguard attack because this is the reason why I lose here, because I have to take one. So I end up taking this attack and then he gets a crit. Which I mulled over, like, even trying to do my next turn without counterblast, but I just need the counterblast, and he does get the crit here. Which again, like, I should have just taken the first attack. Like, hindsight is 20/20 here because, like, oh, like, I die to a crit, so I might as well just take the first one. That was my logic, because like I had enough in hand to theoretically guard everything, but then like I'd be left with nothing, no counterblast, no cards in hand. Probably the only card I have is Persona Ride, and I'd only make like 3 attacks, or like less than 3 attacks. So I just had to gamble there, and unfortunately, like, the way I gambled didn't pan out necessarily. But this is a good teaching moment for you guys, because if you for reference, if you do have to take an attack, it's always better for you to take the first one. More often than not, it's always more ideal for you to take the first one. So I do get to go first here. I'm going to redraw 3. Pitch the grade 1 girl here, then do my top 7 search. Oh, and this is also another this is also a really great match to show you guys that if you don't if you like Tamayura and you can't afford broken toys, I'm just going to let you know right now straight off the rip, the more testing we've done with the deck, the more we realize that you kind of just don't need them. It's a nice to have, it's not a need. It's not a need to have, most definitely, cuz you can't guarantee, at least from our play testing, playing against the deck and playing with the deck, there's no guarantee to get that card into your hand, which like sucks. Like low key sucks. Like because you play that card at 4, and like you deck thin like crazy, but then it's still not guaranteed for you to see that card. I'm gonna swing for 18 here. He guards. I'm gonna give 5k to my Vanguard. Swing for 15. Takes it. Pitches best harvest here. Grabs the Trick Star. Just checking my soul. Go ahead and cross over just a Bahamada. Draw 2, pitch 1. He's gonna pitch a cross over just unit and then just add it back to hand. So he's gonna swing for 10 here. I opt to take it in case of damage deny, and then he's gonna swing for 15, which I opt to take it again. Looks like I pitch a heal here to ride. I'm gonna use Forktail here for top 7 search. Can't see what I added to Soul there. Okay, another one of the grade ones. Moving Forktail back. Calling the grade 2 guy in front of Forktail. And just checking my options in Soul. I think I had the option to play another girl from hand, but I chose to just save it for follow-up for next turn. So I'm going to swing for 13 here. And I can't do the Soul Blast 2 to push his rearguard to Soul because it has an ability that it can't be targeted. But we do get a crit here, and he damages 2 Jargos. So we're going to swing for 18 at the Vanguard. And then we get a +5 on the rearguard column. 23. I choose to attack the Overdress unit because this Vanguard's already 20, and this is technically a forced intercept. A forced intercept, or it'd be like a 15k shield out of his hand to try and protect that rearguard. I believe he whiffs the top 7 search for a Prayer Dragon here. Gonna pitch 1, which looks like he pitched that critical trigger to get the Brahmhamada and the Trick Star out of the drop zone. He forgot to cross Overdress first. Activating Brahmhamada to draw 2 cards and then pitching 1. Pitches a Garo here. He's gonna Soul Blast 2, get rid of the Forktail. And he's gonna swing. He's going to swing at the rearguard. Yeah, he's going to swing at the rearguard here, which I just opt to take it because it's just going to go to Soul. And he's going to swing at the Vanguard for 13. I 2 to pass it. He checks the overtrigger here. I believe he chooses to give the 100 million to, yeah, he chooses to give the 100 million to rearguard so he can just restand it, I believe. Yeah, just so he can restand it. So he gives the 100 million to rearguard. And then second check, he gets nothing. And he's going to swing for 100 mil. And then he's going to swing for, again, I give it a 2 to pass, because that's really all I could give it. Because I already had a PG for the other rearguard. So he gives all effects Vanguard and all effects to Vanguard, and I die to a double crit. And that's the end of the match, guys. It was a really interesting match because of the best harvest and the fact that, like, even though this isn't Eugene, you have to play around, like, the fact that, like, not only can they pop your stuff, but, like, they can just draw cards. And especially since this is, like, a combo deck, like, like, JHEVA is still a combo deck. Like, all JHEVA's combos cost like 2 to 3 cards. It was a really interesting match, and that's why I did want to showcase it, even though I did lose RIP. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about the match down below. I am going to be profiling a list of Tamayura with changes based on how I played with it during that locals. But yeah, get ready for that, guys. That's gonna be on Saturday morning, I believe. But anyways, later.